he read my journal, then tried to control my life. So I quietly took everything from him. I never imagined myself becoming the kind of woman who could lie so easily, smile so convincingly, and destroy someone with a quiet hand. But here I am, and if I'm being honest, I don't regret it. I regret letting it get to that point, maybe. I regret not seeing it sooner. But the rest? Number? Not even a little. We were married for 8 years, me and Daniel. We met when I was 25 and still idealistic, still convinced that the right man would fix everything broken inside me. He was smart, older, put together. He listened. Or he pretended to. He had this calm voice, this quiet confidence that made everyone lean in closer when he spoke. It felt like safety at first, then routine, then prison. But it didn't start ugly. It started with Sunday brunches and soft mornings and shared toothbrush cups. The kind of domesticity I used to watch in movies and think, that's it, that's what I want. But slowly, the compliments turned into corrections. Don't wear that color, it washes you out. You always tell stories like that, it makes you sound insecure. You're not actually going to post that photo, right? One by one, he cut pieces off of me and replaced them with his version of what a wife should be. I let him. That's the part I hate myself for. I let him. I thought he saw something in me worth refining. I didn't realize he just didn't want me to shine too bright. Somewhere around year 5, I stopped asking for anything. I stopped sharing little thoughts, little wins, little worries. He'd roll his eyes, check his phone, say, "We'll talk later," and then never would. I learned to talk to myself instead, or to my journals, or eventually to someone else. That someone else was Thomas. He wasn't planned. He wasn't a fantasy. He was just a person who asked me how I was doing and waited for the real answer. We worked in the same building, different departments, ran into each other by the elevators a few times, made harmless small talk, became friendly. He was married too. At first, it was just nice to be seen. Someone noticing my new haircut, someone remembering my favorite coffee, someone laughing at my jokes instead of correcting them. It stayed innocent for a long time. Too long, maybe. Long enough that I convinced myself nothing was happening, even when everything was. But Daniel noticed, or sensed it, and that's when he really turned. He didn't accuse me, not directly. Number J, he started making offhand comments about women who don't know how to commit. He criticized the way I cooked, the way I dressed, the way I closed cabinet doors. It became constant, background noise. Every day felt like walking on cracked ice. Until the day he crossed a line I didn't know I had. He read my journal. I didn't even know he knew where I kept it. I found it on the bed one evening, open, with certain lines highlighted, underlined in red. He was sitting in the kitchen, silent. When I came in, he just said, "So that's how you really feel?" And I remember laughing, not because it was funny, but because I'd spent years screaming in silence, and he finally heard it from the pages he wasn't supposed to touch. I told him I wanted a separation. He refused. He said, and I quote, "You don't get to just leave. We're not done until I say we're done." And that's when I knew. It wasn't marriage to him. It was ownership. That night, I packed a bag and went to stay with my sister. I thought it would be over, but it wasn't. He started showing up everywhere, leaving notes on my windshield, slipping letters under my sister's door, calling my job pretending to be my emergency contact. He never threatened me, not directly. He was too smart for that. But everything he did was a quiet reminder. I see you. I know where you are. I'm not letting go. I filed for a restraining order. It didn't stick. Not enough evidence. No real threat. Just discomfort. Just fear. Just constant, low-level psychological pressure. And that's when the plan started forming. I wasn't going to beg the system to protect me. I was going to make it impossible for him to keep watching. Daniel was paranoid about reputation. He worked in politics, mid-level city staffer, the kind of guy who played clean on the surface and dirty underneath. He had a public persona he protected like it was sacred. That was the key. I started gathering, every voicemail, every text. I logged every time he followed me in his car. Took photos when I saw him across the street from my new apartment. Then I started digging into his digital history. Turns out, for a man so obsessed with privacy, he was careless with his online footprint. I found old Reddit accounts, burner Twitter pages, comments that were, let's say, not aligned with the family values image he sold at work. Casual racism, sexist memes, a few private. Messages to women that bordered on harassment. I didn't publish them. I wasn't reckless. I packaged everything into a neat, anonymized report and sent it to his boss. From a fake email, through a VPN, with zero traces back to me. He wasn't fired, but he was put on administrative leave pending internal review. The office gossip mill did the rest. His name stopped showing up on public event rosters. His department profile disappeared. His LinkedIn went quiet. Meanwhile, I got a new job, moved cities, changed my number, started therapy again, real therapy. Not the kind you lie your way through just to say you went. I stopped answering unknown calls. I stopped checking my rearview mirror. Slowly, the knots in my stomach began to loosen. And then, one day, I got an email. From Thomas, just a short note. He said he'd gotten divorced, that he thought about me sometimes, that he hoped I was okay. I didn't respond, not because I didn't care, but because I needed my story to end on my terms. I didn't want to be saved. I didn't want to be part of someone else's second chapter. I wanted peace. I wanted silence. I wanted the space to become someone who didn't need revenge to feel whole. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer. Every day, I wake up in a bed I chose, in a place he's never seen, with no one telling me I'm too loud, too dramatic, too much. That's my victory. Not the ruined career, not the silence that followed, but this, knowing that he can never touch me again. Not with his hands, not with his words, not even with his memory.